5 times SRAM, 10 times DRAM. A startup has appeared in the world of AI memory, waving some very bold numbers. It's NEO Semiconductor, with its new concept called NEO.AI. You don't need to take these numbers at face value, but laughing them off would be an even bigger mistake. I believe this announcement captures the very essence of what a semiconductor startup is. Today, I'll show you how to read it. Hello everyone, I'm Ty, with 31 years in the semiconductor industry. Today, we're covering NEO.AI, the AI memory platform announced by NEO Semiconductor. By the end of this video, you'll understand the two memory bottlenecks facing AI chips and how to interpret a startup's claims of 5x and 10x. Let's get started. Let's begin with a simplified analogy. Imagine a wildly popular restaurant in town, flooded with orders. In the kitchen is a genius chef with first-class skills. But lately, customers have been complaining that the food is coming out slowly. And when people looked into it, the cause of the delay wasn't the chef's skill at all. The cause was the ingredient supply. In this kitchen, the chef has a small prep counter at hand, holding the ingredients needed right away. Grabbing from it is instant, but it holds very little. Meanwhile, the bulk of the ingredients sits in a large storeroom down the hallway, and every trip there takes time. The kitchen runs on this two-tier setup, the counter at hand and the storeroom in the back. As orders pile up, this two-tier setup starts to scream. The prep counter fills up instantly, and the staff end up shuttling back and forth to the storeroom. Meanwhile, the genius chef can only stop and wait. Even hiring a second genius chef wouldn't help. If the ingredients don't arrive, no more dishes come out. This kitchen's capacity was capped not by the chef's skill, but by the flow of ingredients. So what can be done? You can't just enlarge the prep counter. The kitchen has a fixed size, and a bigger counter leaves the chef no room to stand. Remodeling to bring the storeroom closer is structurally difficult too. In other words, simply extending the traditional approach could no longer fix this bottleneck. Then a young equipment designer comes to pitch. I've designed a prep counter that holds 5 times the ingredients in the same footprint, and a storeroom with tall stacked shelves that holds 10 times more. A dream offer, but it's still at the blueprint and small prototype stage, never used in a real kitchen. So how should we take this proposal? From here, let's look at how this simplified story is playing out in the real industry. The protagonist is NEO Semiconductor, a startup developing memory technology. Its founder, Andy Su, is an inventor said to hold more than 120 patents, and the company has received strategic investment from Stan Shi, founder of Acer and a former board member of TSMC. On August 4, 2026, US time, the company announced NEO.AI, a memory platform for AI. NEO.AI has two pillars. The first is a new on-chip memory technology called X-SRAM. X-SRAM is the ultra-fast memory inside an AI processor that temporarily holds data, the prep counter in our analogy. X-SRAM claims up to 5 times the density of conventional SRAM, aiming to expand on-chip cache capacity while staying compatible with the nanosheet CMOS process used in leading-edge logic. The second pillar is 3D X-DRAM. This concept applies the stacking technology proven in 3D NAND, targeting up to 10 times the capacity of conventional DRAM, the tall-shelved storeroom in our analogy. NEO has succeeded in proof of concept, that is, confirming the basic principle works, and says the technology could potentially be applied to next-generation HBM. But here comes an important caveat. Neither X-SRAM nor 3D X-DRAM is a product confirmed for mass production. Both are still in development toward commercialization. The proof of concept on real silicon was verified only in April 2026 at a research institute in Taiwan. In other words, we're still at that young designer's blueprint and prototype stage. That's the honest picture of where things stand. And this is where today's real topic begins. How should we read this announcement? The media puts 5x and 10x in the headlines, but that's not where I want you to focus. These numbers are not measured performance from mass-produced products. They are targets the technology aims for. A number on a blueprint and a number from a tool used in the shop every day mean completely different things. Making that distinction is the first step in reading any startup announcement. Does that mean targets are meaningless? Not at all. In the semiconductor industry, even a 1.5x improvement in a real product counts as a major achievement. Delivering 1.5x while meeting speed, power, yield, reliability, and cost all at once, that's a level the big players will seriously consider. Flip that around, and 5x or 10x serves partly as a banner to attract investors and development partners. Understanding them as that kind of number is, I think, the fair way to look at them. And semiconductor startups face a harsh destiny. History has seen companies like Calxeda and Transmeta promising technology in hand, yet they ran out of money or vanished before reaching the market. Even after a successful prototype, a long road awaits. Scaling up, yield improvement, reliability qualification, transfer to mass production, and customer qualification. Most companies run out of steam along this road. On the other hand, there's a way to succeed without becoming a giant yourself. PA Semi was acquired by Apple, Nuvia by Qualcomm, and their technology and people live on in today's products. Great technology and great designers, bought by a big company and blooming there. That too is a respectable form of success for a semiconductor startup. So what about NEO? The company looks strongly like an IP venture built around patents, with strategic backing from an industry heavyweight. My read? Rather than building its own fab, it's more natural to assume NEO is moving with exits in view. Partnerships with major memory makers, licensing, or even acquisition. If so, the 5x and 10x banner is there to make those partners turn their heads. That said, let's look at the real walls ahead. After proof of principle come array-level implementation, with memory cells actually laid out, multi-layer test chips, and verification on a major memory maker's production line. Clearing these hurdles is the true test, and rather than the headline numbers, this real chip progress is the watchpoint I'd focus on. Still, we can't dismiss startups, because history has been rewritten by a tiny handful of winners. ARM started in 1990 with 12 engineers and now underpins chip design worldwide. NVIDIA, founded in 1993, was a startup too and grew into the central company of the AI era. It may be a 3 in 1,000 world, but those three redraw the industry map. Let me sum up. You don't need to take NEO's 5x and 10x at face value, but you don't need to dismiss them from the start either. Separate targets from measured results and track progress with the yardstick of real chip achievements. That sense of distance, not too close, not too far, is, I believe, the most important attitude for dealing with startup announcements. To wrap up, NEO Semiconductor announced NEO.AI, a concept challenging two bottlenecks, cache and HBM. The 5x and 10x it touts are targets, not mass production measurements. Most semiconductor startups fade along the way, but some succeed by passing their technology to bigger players, and a rare few rewrite history. Don't be swayed by the numbers. Watch the real chip progress. That's all for today. I'll keep bringing you semiconductor news and analysis, so if you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This has been Ty on Semiconductor News Decoded.